Would I be the asshole for naming my daughter Audrey? I'm 7 months pregnant with a baby girl, and my husband and I have been tossing around names for what feels like forever. After a lot of back and forth, we landed on Audrey. We both love how it's classic, elegant, and carries this timeless vibe, like it could belong to a 1940s movie star or a modern-day artist. It just felt right. So, at my baby shower last month, I was excited to share the name with everyone. The room was buzzing with pastel balloons, cupcakes, and that sweet anticipation of meeting our little girl. But then my sister, Claire, decided to rain on my parade. She pulled me aside, her voice dripping with judgment, and said, "Audrey, that's so outdated. Kids are gonna bully her for having an old lady name." I was floored. This is the same sister who, a few years back, wanted to name her own daughter Ashley. Yes, spelled with 2 H's and an extra I, pronounced like Ashley, until her husband vetoed it. And now she's coming for my choice? I tried to brush it off, but Claire wouldn't let it go. She kept making snide comments throughout the shower like, "I just don't want your kid to hate you for sticking her with a name like that." It was embarrassing, especially in front of our friends and family who were starting to exchange awkward glances. My husband, always the peacemaker, suggested we move on to opening gifts, but Claire kept circling back to it, saying things like, "You should pick something trendy, like Harper or Luna." I finally snapped and told her to drop it or leave. She didn't stop, so we asked her to go. It wasn't my finest moment, kicking my sister out of my baby shower, but I was hormonal, stressed, and done with her nonsense. Later, she blew up my phone with messages, doubling down, saying I was being stubborn, and setting my kid up for a lifetime of teasing. I blocked her on everything, social media, texts, all of it. I just couldn't deal anymore. The thing is, I don't think Audrey is outdated at all. It's not like I'm naming her Gertrude or Mildred. Audrey Hepburn, anyone? It's a name with grace and strength, and I can already picture our little girl owning it. But Claire's comments got under my skin. What if she's right? What if kids do tease her? I started second-guessing myself, scrolling through baby name forums late at night, reading horror stories about kids getting picked on for weird names. My husband says I'm overthinking it, that kids will find a reason to tease anyone, no matter the name. He's probably right, but I hate that Claire's voice is still in my head. I talked to my mom about it, and she thinks Claire's just jealous because she's not the center of attention for once. My best friend agrees, saying Claire's always been dramatic and loves stirring the pot. Still, I can't shake this tiny nagging feeling. Naming a kid is such a big deal. It's their identity, something they carry forever. What if I'm making a mistake? But then I think about how much I love the name, how it feels like her already, and I get mad all over again that Claire's making me doubt myself. I mean, who is she to judge? She's not the one carrying this baby or raising her. I just want to move forward with a name that makes us happy, not one that's trendy to appease my sister or anyone else. So I'm sticking with Audrey, but I can't help wondering if I overreacted by cutting Claire off. Maybe I could have handled it better, explained why the name means so much to us. Or maybe she deserved it for being so pushy. It's hard to know where to draw the line when family gets like this. Am I the asshole for naming my daughter Audrey? Am I the asshole for using a self-printed cart unlocker? I'm a regular at Aldi, where you need a quarter to unlock a shopping cart. It's a simple system. Pop in a quarter, get your cart, return it, get your quarter back. But I'm notorious for forgetting coins, so I got fed up and 3D printed a little keychain-sized cart unlocker. It's a nifty gadget. You slide it into the slot, the cart unlocks, and you pull the tool right out. No quarter needed, no hassle. I've been using it for months without issue until last weekend when it sparked a whole scene. I pulled into the Aldi parking lot ready to grab my groceries. As I approached the cart corral, an older guy, maybe in his 60s, offered me his cart. He seemed friendly, so I smiled and said, "Thanks, but I don't have a quarter to trade." He looked confused, like I'd just spoken in code, and asked how I was planning to get a cart without one. I figured I'd be honest, so I showed him my unlocker and explained how it works. Big mistake. His face went from friendly to furious in seconds. "You're stealing!" he barked, loud enough for people nearby to turn and stare. "That's cheating the system. You're a con artist." I was stunned. I mean, it's a grocery cart, not a bank vault. I tried to stay calm and asked, "Who's getting hurt here? Can you explain what's wrong?" But he just kept yelling, calling me dishonest, and storming off, muttering about kids these days. I stood there, feeling like I'd been slapped. I wasn't trying to scam anyone. I don't take anyone else's quarters, and I don't profit from this. When I'm done shopping, I leave my cart unlocked, sometimes with a quarter in it for the next person who might have forgotten one. If anything, I'm trying to make things easier for others. But this guy's reaction rattled me. I started wondering if I was missing something. Is there some moral line I'm crossing? I mean, Aldi's system is about ensuring carts get returned, and I always return mine. The unlocker just saves me the hassle of scrounging for change. To be fair, I can see one potential issue. Sometimes after checkout, there's a cart near the cashier where you load your groceries. If that cart has a quarter in it and I swap it for my empty one, someone might miss out on their quarter. But I'm careful not to do that. I either leave a quarter or make sure the next person gets an unlocked cart. I'm not out here hoarding coins or gaming the system for profit. Still, this guy's outrage made me second-guess myself. I kept replaying the moment, wondering if I came off as smug or if I should have just taken his cart to avoid the drama. This isn't the first time I've had an interaction like this. Every so often, I'll do something I think is harmless, like using a coupon some cashier didn't know about or parking in a spot someone else was eyeing, and it turns into this big moral judgment. I end up overanalyzing for days, trying to figure out where I went wrong. This time, I'm trying to break that cycle by asking for outside perspective. I talked to a friend about it, and she laughed, saying the guy was probably just having a bad day and I shouldn't sweat it. My brother, though, said some people see any workaround as cheating, even if it doesn't hurt anyone. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's about the principle for him, not the actual impact. I still use the unlocker, but now I'm hyper-aware of who's watching, like I'm some mastermind criminal. I just want to grab my groceries and go, not start a philosophical debate in the parking lot. Was I wrong to use it, or was this guy just looking for a fight? Am I the asshole for using the cart unlocker? Am I the asshole for not returning the car? My grandma got me. I'm 18, fresh out of high school, and navigating some serious family drama over a car. 4 years ago, when my older brother got his permit, my grandparents bought a nearly new Prius for us to share. They were crystal clear. The car was for both of us, or our parents should sell it and split the money equally. But when I got my permit a year later, sharing didn't go so smoothly. My brother hogged the Prius, always claiming he needed it for school or work. I barely got to drive it, maybe once a month if I was lucky. My parents, trying to solve things, bought me a beat-up 12-year-old Civic. It was all they could afford, but it felt like a consolation prize. The Civic's AC barely worked. The seats smelled like old fast food, and it rattled like it might fall apart any second. Meanwhile, my brother cruised around in the shiny Prius. My grandparents were livid when they found out. My grandma, especially, was upset because she'd picked the Prius with me in mind. I've always been her favorite, probably because I'm the only one who spends real time with her, helping with chores or just chatting over tea. She told me to make do with the Civic until I turned 18, promising they'd fix the situation. I didn't know what that meant, but I trusted her. Fast forward to a few months ago, when I hit 18. Grandma asked what car I wanted. I'd been dreaming of a RAV4, reliable, cute, perfect for me. I mentioned it half-jokingly, not expecting much. A week later, my uncle pulled up in a brand new RAV4 hybrid, a gift from my grandparents. I was speechless. It's not just a car, it's my sanctuary. On rough days, I'll sit inside, blast my music, and feel like the world can't touch me. But here's where things got messy. My parents think it's unfair that I have a shiny new RAV4 while my brother's still driving the Prius, and my younger sister, who's 15, isn't getting a car at all. They say the disparity is causing tension. My brother's jealous, begging them to trade in the Prius for something like mine, but they can't afford it. So now they're pressuring me to sell my RAV4 and get something more appropriate to level things out. I flat out refused. This car was a gift from my grandma, chosen for me, and I love it. Plus, it's not my fault they didn't follow through on the Prius sharing plan. My grandma backed me up, saying my parents screwed up by not making us share or selling the car like they were supposed to. She's blunt like that. She told them this wouldn't have happened if they'd listened. Now my brother's sulking, my parents are calling me selfish, and they're saying I need to think about my siblings. My sister doesn't even have her permit yet, so I don't get why I'm supposed to downgrade my life for her. I feel bad, though. My brother's always been competitive, and I can see how he feels left out. Family dinners are tense now, with everyone tiptoeing around the car issue. I talked to my best friend about it, and she thinks my parents are being unfair, expecting me to fix their mistake. My grandma, meanwhile, says I deserve the car and everyone else can deal. She's always had my back, but I wonder if I'm being too stubborn. Should I feel guilty for keeping something that's mine? I didn't ask for this drama, but it's hard not to feel like I'm somehow the bad guy here. Am I the asshole for not selling the car? Am I the asshole for not including my friends who didn't pitch in for a birthday gift? Planning a group gift for a friend's birthday seemed like a great idea, but it turned into a total mess. My best friend's 30th was coming up, and I wanted to make it special. We all agreed on a $700 gift, a fancy designer handbag she'd been eyeing forever. To make it fair, I offered to front the cost with my credit card and asked 5 friends to each chip in $100, with me covering the remaining $200. I gave them 30 days to pay me back, due 2 weeks before the birthday, so I wouldn't be stuck footing the bill. Everyone nodded, said it sounded good, and we were all excited to surprise her. I even double-checked with everyone before buying the bag to make sure they were in. They were. So I swiped my card, wrapped the gift, and started counting down to the big day. As the deadline approached, 2 friends, let's call them Jake and Sarah, started dodging me. First it was, "Oh, I'll get you the money soon." Then radio silence. I followed up, reminding them I'd have to cover their share if they didn't pay up, and the gift tag would only list those who contributed. They both promised they'd pay before the party. Spoiler, they didn't. On the day of the birthday, I asked them one last time, out of good faith, to at least send me something, $20, $50, anything. They both gave me the same excuse, "I'm broke right now." Meanwhile, I'd seen Jake posting about his new Pokemon card haul and Sarah snapping pics at bars, dropping cash on drinks, and who knows what else. I was livid. That meant I was out $400 of the $700, way more than I'd signed up for. At the party, I presented the gift, a gorgeous leather bag wrapped in gold paper, and wrote on the tag, "From me, Lisa, Tom, and Emma." Jake and Sarah's names were nowhere to be found. The birthday girl loved it, tears in her eyes, and everyone was cheering, except Jake and Sarah, who pulled me aside later, fuming. "Why didn't you include us?" Sarah demanded, her arms crossed. Jake chimed in, saying they'd pay me back soon and that I was being petty for leaving them off. I didn't hold back. I told them it was BS. They'd had a month to prioritize this, but chose to blow their money on dumb stuff instead. I wasn't about to let them take credit for a gift I was still paying off. They got defensive, saying I was making a big deal out of nothing and that I should have trusted they'd pay me later. The rest of the night was awkward. Lisa, one of the friends who paid, told me I did the right thing. Why should they get credit for something they didn't help with? But Emma, another contributor, thought I could have handled it more diplomatically, maybe talked to them privately first. Now Jake and Sarah are icing me out, and mutual friends are saying I embarrassed them in front of everyone. I feel like I was fair. I gave them every chance to step up, and they didn't. But part of me wonders if I should have just eaten the cost and put their names on it to keep the peace. Money's tight for me too, and $400 is a huge hit. I keep replaying the moment, wondering if I came off as too harsh or if they're just mad they got called out. It's not like I wanted to start a fight at a birthday party, but I also didn't want to be a doormat. Should I have handled it differently, or were they out of line? Am I the asshole for not including them on the gift? Am I the asshole for refusing to cancel child support? 6 years ago, my life changed when I took in my niece, Lily, who was just 10 years old. My sister, her mom, got arrested for felony theft and drug charges, spiraling deep into addiction. No one else in our family stepped up. Our parents said they were too old, and other relatives just made excuses. I couldn't let Lily end up in foster care, so I offered to take her in while my sister went through drug treatment to avoid jail. At first, I thought it'd be temporary, but Lily made it clear she wanted nothing to do with her mom. That raised red flags. Over the first few months, as we built trust, Lily opened up about years of neglect, missed meals, screaming fights, and being left alone for days while her mom chased highs. It broke my heart. I knew I had to protect her, so I sought legal guardianship. My sister didn't take it well. She fought me tooth and nail to terminate the guardianship, claiming she was better and deserved her daughter back. I wasn't buying it. She'd been in and out of rehab before, always slipping back into old habits. The legal battle was brutal. I spent over $100,000 in legal fees, draining savings I'd earmarked for retirement or a house. I hired the best lawyer I could, gathered evidence of her ongoing drug use, text messages, police reports, even witness statements from neighbors. The court appointed a guardian ad litem who spent time with Lily and reported she was thriving with me but terrified of returning to her mom. After a year and a half, I won. Lily stayed with me, and I became her legal guardian. It felt like a victory, but it came at a steep cost. During the fight, I learned I was entitled to child support as Lily's guardian. I filed for it, not because I needed the money. I make a good living, better than anyone in my family, but because I was drowning in legal bills and thought it was only fair. My sister was ordered to pay, and the state's been relentless, garnishing her wages and bank accounts. She's racked up about $30,000 in back support, with more owed until Lily turns 18. I don't rely on the payments. I cover all of Lily's needs: school, clothes, therapy, even her soccer camp. But I'm not about to let my sister off the hook. Now, years later, some family members are pressuring me to forgive the debt. They say my sister's doing better, working a steady job and struggling because of the garnishments. They argue she can't move forward with this financial burden. I get it. $30,000 is a lot, and she'll likely never pay it off completely. But every time I think about letting it go, I remember the hell she put us through. She knew she was back on drugs during the custody fight, lied about it in court, and dragged it out, costing me a fortune. That money could have gone to Lily's college fund or a better home for us. Instead, I'm still rebuilding my savings. I've started telling relatives, if you're so worried about her, pay the $30,000 yourself, plus the future support, and I'll consider dropping it. They huff and puff, but no one stepped up. Lily's my world now. She's like my own kid. She's 16, doing great in school, and finally healing from her past. My sisters had no real contact with her, and Lily wants it that way. I'm still angry, though. Forgiving the child support feels like letting my sister dodge accountability for the mess she made. But with family breathing down my neck, I'm starting to wonder if holding onto this grudge is making me the bad guy. Should I let it go for the sake of peace? Or is it fair to make her pay for what she did? Am I the asshole for refusing to cancel the child support? Am I the asshole for not giving away my daughter's rare backpack? My 13-year-old daughter, Mia, is obsessed with Loungefly backpacks. For the past 3 years, she's been collecting them like they're her personal treasure. She's got about 50, each one a vibrant burst of her personality. Disney characters, Marvel heroes, you name it. Her collection's become a big deal. She's built a huge following on Instagram and TikTok, where she shows off her bags with this infectious enthusiasm. I monitor her accounts closely, she doesn't even have direct access, and help her post, making sure everything's safe and age-appropriate. It's her creative outlet, and I love seeing her so passionate. One of her first and favorite bags is a discontinued Nightmare Before Christmas design featuring Jack Skellington. It's her pride and joy, and she'll talk your ear off about how it's perfectly spooky cute. On eBay, that bag's going for $500 now, a testament to its rarity. Enter my sister Stevie, who's been a bit of a mess financially due to her past lifestyle choices, though she's working on recovery. She's newly dating a guy who has a 15-year-old daughter, Zoe. I've never met Zoe or her dad, but Stevie's been hyping up Zoe's upcoming birthday. A few weeks ago, Stevie called me, gushing about how Zoe saw Mia's Nightmare Before Christmas backpack on Instagram and fell in love. It's her favorite character, too. Stevie asked if I'd give the bag to Zoe as a birthday gift, since it's discontinued and she can't afford the eBay price. I was taken aback. This wasn't just any bag, it's one of Mia's most prized possessions, something she's emotionally attached to. I told Stevie I couldn't just take Mia's property and give it away. Instead, I offered to split the cost of a new Loungefly bag for Zoe. Something nice, but within reason, since Stevie's short on cash. Stevie wasn't having it. She insisted Mia had to give up the rare bag and, on top of that, feature Zoe in one of her famous TikToks to make her feel special. I shut that down fast. Mia's TikTok is her project, her space to shine. I've had this same talk with my younger kids who are 7 and 10. Nobody gets to demand a spot in Mia's videos. It's not a family variety show. It's her thing. Stevie didn't take it well. She called me and Mia spoiled and bougie, saying we were being selfish for not sharing the bag or the spotlight. I told her she was being ridiculous, making demands about a kid's property and a social media account she has no claim to, especially since we've never even met Zoe. Things escalated and Stevie stopped talking to me. Then she posted a dramatic TikTok about cutting off toxic family, clearly aimed at us. My mom, who's always been the voice of reason, sided with me and Mia, telling Stevie she needs to apologize for blowing this out of proportion. Now I'm stuck in this weird spot. I feel for Zoe, she's just a kid who loves a character, but I can't justify taking something so special from my daughter to give to a stranger. Mia's worked hard to build her collection and her online presence, and it's not fair to force her to share either. But Stevie's making me out to be some heartless villain, and it's starting to mess with my head. I keep wondering if I could have offered something else to smooth things over, like helping Zoe find a similar bag. My mom says Stevie's just lashing out because she's embarrassed about her financial situation, but I'm not sure. Should I have tried harder to find a compromise? Or is Stevie way out of line for expecting us to give up Mia's prized possession and platform? Am I the asshole for not giving away my daughter's rare backpack?